we are going to learn how to pass sale entry of electronic product. So if you are visiting first time to my YouTube channel, so please like, share and support my channel by subscribing, and please don't forget to press the bell icon so that you will get all the notification of my future video. So let's get started. So from gateway of Tally you have to press V, so that voucher will be open. You have to select sales voucher from right hand side. Select sales voucher, and by pressing F2 you can change date, in which date you are going to sell your product. And here party account name you have to select. You can see here right hand side list of ledger account. You can select party ledger from here. If party ledger has not created, you can create your party ledger by pressing Alt plus C. If party ledger has created, you can select from list of account ledger, and then you can see this is the party belong to Maharashtra, and here you can select sales ledger in sales, and after that name of item you have to select all those items which product you are going to sell. So first we are going to select electrical ceiling fan. Here you can see availability of stock. Here is available 10 pieces, so we are going to sell 9 pieces at the rate of 1100 each. And second product we are going to select electrical iron, and quantity if you want to see your stock, you can see 15 quantity is available in your stock, and we are going to select 13 stock at the rate of 600 rupees each. And third product GMG, juicer mixer grinder. If you want to mention your additional item description, you can mention. We are going to sell it 5 with rupees 1000. And fourth we are going to select immersion water heater, and quantity would be 45 numbers and rate would be 300. And the last quantity we are going to select roti maker. You can see 4 numbers are available of roti maker, so we are going to sell 2 numbers of roti maker at the rate of 900. Next product we are going to select toaster. If you want to see availability of this stock, you can see 12 pieces are available. You can sell 12 pieces or less than 12 pieces, so we are going to sell 12 pieces at the rupees 1300 each. Same likewise you have to add all those electronic product which you are going to sell. Now is the time for applying tax. You can apply IGST if you are selling interstate. Let's see print preview of the invoice. Click on print current and then preview. Now you can see this is how your invoice will look. You can see here description of goods, HSN code, quantity, rate and amount. All the details you can see before giving print in print preview. So now we will see in balance sheet what is impact of this entry. So go to and open balance sheet, and asset side open current assets, then sundry debtors. You can see here that entry is showing over here which entry we have just passed out. So again go to and open ledger reports, then ledger voucher, and we are going to analyze ledger. So you can select any of ledger and you can analyze any of particular ledger. So I'm going to open Anjali electronic. You can see here, and now I will show you how to analyze GSTR1 reports. Click on go to and open from here GSTR1 reports. Click on GSTR1 reports from here, press Alt F2 and you can change date. And now you can see here this entry is showing uncertain uncompleted because we have not filled GSTI number of party. When you will fill correct GST number of the party, this entry will show in B2B invoices column. So in this way, in this video I will teach you and I will show you how to pass electronic items sale entry, and after that how to analyze balance sheet, how to analyze ledger reports, and in last we have seen how to analyze GSTR1 reports in Tally Prime. Open Tally Prime, and from the gateway of Tally you have to press V. Now you can see voucher has been opened. From the right hand side you have to select journal voucher. By pressing F2 you can change date, in which date you want to book this entry. From here press Ctrl C. We will create a ledger of commission expenses, and commission expenses ledger will be created under under group indirect expenses. Now I am telling you why we will create this ledger under indirect expenses, because commission is going to be your indirect expenses for your business. Is GST applicable? So GST will be not applicable because we are not going to receive commission invoice. In this case, commission expense, let's suppose we have paid 20,000, so 20,000 will be debit. By pressing Ctrl C, again we have to create the person ledger to whom you are going to pay commission. So I have created Suman Education Hub ledger under sundry creators. Maintain balances bill by bill, yes, and you have to fill the address of the party, state, and the important thing is you have to fill your PAN number of the person whom you are going to pay commission. Otherwise, 20% TDS will be deducted if PAN card is not available. Select unregistered and 20,000 will be credited. In narration, you can mention for which month you are going to book commission expenses. This is how you can book your commission expenses invoice without GST. Now let me show you this ledger. So click on go to option and click on ledger reports, then ledger voucher, and we will open Suman Education Hub ledger. Now you can see the entry is showing over here which we have just passed out 20,000 commission expenses. Now we will have to deduct TDS on this amount because this is 20,000 amount and TDS section 194H threshold limit is 15,000, TDS rate is 5%. So we have paid 20,000 and this is a fall under TDS section 194H. So we need to book TDS entry for this amount. So by pressing Ctrl A, you can see voucher has been opened. Select journal voucher. Now we will book TDS entry for this commission. So Suman Education Hub ledger will be debit. Now we have to calculate 20,000 5% because 194H commission 5% is TDS rate. So 20,000 5% by pressing Ctrl and you can open calculator in Tally Prime, and I have calculated 20,000 5% is 1,000. So 1,000 will be debit. You can select against which invoice you have to deduct TDS. Now we need to create a ledger for TDS payable. So by pressing Ctrl C, you have to create a ledger TDS on payable commission, and in bracket you can mention 194H section. So it will be recall you about section. So I have created TDS payable on commission in bracket 194H. Now here we will select group under current liability because TDS payable is our current liability. So that's we will create this ledger under this group. So we have debit to the party and credit TDS payable. So in narration you can mention for which month you are going to pay, you are going to book the TDS entry. So you can say first we have booked commission entry 20,000 and we have already booked TDS entry over it. Now you can see 19,000 is payable to the party. So we will pay Suman Education Hub to 19,000. By pressing Ctrl A, you can select payment voucher and Suman Education ledger will be debit with 19,000 rupees. Against reference, you can select. Now select your bank, from which bank you are going to pay this amount. So we have select our SBI bank 19,000 credit and save this ledger. Now I will show you final ledger of Suman Education Hub. First 20,000 we have booked commission expenses, 1,000 is TDS amount and 19,000 is payable amount which we have already paid to the party. Party ledger has been nil 20,000 with debit and credit. Now I will show you TDS payable ledger. So we will open TDS payable on commission. Now you can see 1,000 is showing in credit side. So we will pay to the government on the behalf of that person. So when we will pay this TDS challan in next month before 7th, so we will pass the payment entry for that. So by pressing Ctrl A, select payment voucher. TDS payable on commission will be debit with 1,000 rupees and our bank will be credit. So in this way you can pass TDS payment entry in Tally Prime. So in this video we have seen how to pass commission entry without GST, how to book TDS entry, and how to pay TDS challan payable in Tally Prime. And first I will tell you how to create percentage wise freight charges ledger in Tally Prime. So from gateway of Tally, click on create option and then ledger option, and from here we will create percentage wise freight charges ledger which is used in purchase invoice. Sometime you would have received 12% of freight charges, sometime you would have received 5% of freight charges ledger. Let's create first freight charges 5% ledger under indirect expenses. Why we are creating under indirect expenses? Because we are going to pay on purchase invoice freight charges, which is a indirectly expenses for our business. So you have to select HSN code, and nature of transaction in not applicable if you are using this for interstate purchase invoice. In taxability, choose taxable and 5% tax will be applicable, and type of supply services, and save this. Same likewise we will create freight charges 12%. Under same group indirect expenses, GST will be applicable, and set alter GST detail. You have to fill HSN code. In nature of transaction not applicable if you are creating for interstate purchase. Taxability taxable and 12% tax will be applied. Type of supply you have to select services, because this is a services ledger we are creating. So we have created interstate freight charges ledger 5% and 12%. Now I'll show you how to create freight charges percentage wise for local. Let's suppose you are purchasing and your supplier are from belong from local area, so you have to create freight charges 12% local as I'm showing you. So fill HSN code, and there is only changes in nature of transaction. You have to select purchase taxable. Before we have selected not applicable for interstate, and for local you have to select purchase taxable. Same likewise we will create another one, freight charges 5% local. Under indirect expenses group, GST will be applicable, and set alter GST detail yes, and you have to fill HSN code. Only there is change in nature of transaction, you have to select purchase taxable if you are creating for local. In taxability taxable and 5% tax will be applicable. So this is how you can create freight charges percentage wise ledger for local and for interstate, as I show you in this video. Now I'll show you. Let's go for record purchase entry so that I can show you how you have to use this freight charges percentage wise ledger we have created, and how you can replace this entry with common freight charges ledger. So I'm going to pass here purchase entry, as you can see. So you have to select party, date, invoice number, purchase ledger, and here I'm going to select item, name of item which we are going to purchase in purchase invoice. So in name of item, let's suppose I'm going to purchase any of the item. So let's suppose I'm going to purchase mobile, one pieces mobile with 50,000 rupees. Let's suppose party has applied freight charges 12% or freight charges 5%. Now you can see there is a 3 or 4 ledger is showing for freight charges percentage wise. So this is unnecessary ledger for you. You can make a common ledger freight charges, and you can replace all these 4 ledgers with one common freight charges ledger. So I'll show you how you have to use this percentage wise and how you can replace with common ledger. So I'm going to select freight charges 12% local. Let's suppose 9% has applied on purchase invoice, and now we are going to apply CGST and SGST because we are going to purchase from local party. So CGST, SGST, now you can see this is the entry you can pass with freight charges percentage wise ledger. So there is a total 4 ledger. You can see freight charges 12%, freight charges 5%, freight charges 12% local, freight charges 5% local. So there is a total 4 ledger. So we can create a common ledger for freight charges, and you can use anywhere. Doesn't matter, in your invoice is there 12% freight charges or 5% freight charges. You can use a common ledger. How you can create, I'll show you. So by pressing Ctrl C, you can create freight charges under indirect expenses. And is GST applicable? So here you have to select not applicable. Next, include in assessable value, calculate for, select GST. Appropriate for goods, and method of calculation, select based on value. Now you can replace all these 4 ledgers with this common ledger, and you can use anywhere. Doesn't matter, in your purchase invoice apply 5% freight charges or 12% freight charges, you can replace with this common ledger. So Prime, and let me tell you first how you can see your, and from where you can see your sundry debtors, your buyer list. So from Gateway of Tally, first you need to open balance sheet. You will get all the details in balance sheet, all your buyers and all your sundry debtors list in balance sheet. So first we need to open balance sheet. So from Gateway of Tally, press B. This is the shortcut key of opening balance sheet. So after opening balance sheet, click on current assets and then click on sundry debtors. Now you can see only one ledger is showing over here. Why I'm telling you? Because we did not pass so much entry, we did not pass so much transaction over here. That's why only you can see one entry. If you will pass, and if you have a large sundry debtors buyer list, so you can see all the ledger will be show over here. If you want to export this sundry debtors list, so you can click on export option, then current option, and then you can click on configure option. Before exporting this file, click on file format, and you can select any of format you want to export this file. So I'm going to select Excel format. Now you can see the file transfer is failed, so click on again configure option, and we need to change file folder path. I'm going to change folder path and then click on send option. Now you can see our Excel file is getting export. So this is successfully export. Now you can save this file and you can send any of your senior, any of your senior CA or boss is asking, you can send to them. Open Tally Prime, and from Gateway of Tally, press DAL. And now I'm going to open any of parties ledger which is liable for TDS. So I'm going to open Suman Alarm Company's ledger, and from here you can see parties ledger has been opened. And from here first we will need to change the date, and as you know we calculate TDS month wise. So let me change the date. I'm going to change the date for the month of May. Now you can see purchase detail has been opened for the month of May, and there is approx 6 or 7 transaction, and the total value of purchase invoice it's 60 lakh 18,000. Now let me tell you something about 194Q section. So what is 194Q section? So 194Q section is for purchase of goods, and the threshold limit of this act is 50 lakh. If you are purchasing 50 lakh or more than 50 lakh with any of registered person, so you have to deduct TDS 0.1%. If you are purchasing in aggregate year. So now you can see there is a month wise purchase detail has opened, and the total purchase amount is 60 lakh 18,000, which is liable. So there is so many confusion with some accountant and with some people on which amount we have to deduct TDS. Should we deduct TDS on total invoice value 60 lakh 18,000? So no, it's not. You don't have to deduct TDS on 60 lakh 18,000 amount. You only have to deduct TDS on assessable value. TDS to be deducted only on taxable value. Now you can see there is no much transaction, there is only 6 or 7 transactions. So if you want to calculate TDS on calculators, I open a single entry so that I can explain you how you have to calculate TDS. So here I have opened a single entry of purchase, and now you can see here is taxable amount of 5 lakh rupees and 45,000 it's a tax, and total invoice value it's 5 lakh 90,000. So you don't have to calculate TDS on total invoice value. You don't have to calculate on 5,90,000. You have to calculate TDS only on taxable value, which is a 5 lakhs. You have to calculate 0.1% on 5 lakh rupees. If there is no more transactions, so you can calculate by manually by opening your entry. If there is 3 or 4 or 10 or 20 invoices, you can calculate manually. If there is so much transactions, so what you have to do, it is not possible to calculate by opening one by one entry. So how you will calculate easily if there is a so much transaction, if there is a large number of transaction, I will tell you. So now you can see columnar option will be appear on the right hand side. So you have to use this option and you can easily calculate your TDS on. How columnar option will be used, I'm going to tell you. First, open your parties ledger, of which party ledger you want to deduct and you want to calculate TDS. And after opening, change the date for the month of which month you want to calculate TDS. And from the right hand side, click on columnar option. After clicking columnar option, you will get to see here. You can see so many options are showing over here. So accordingly you can change yes or no, and by pressing Ctrl A, save the changes. Now you will see columnar wise party details you will see over here on the screen. So you can see columnar wise detail, you will see separately all the details like party name, voucher type, voucher number, voucher reference number, GST number, value, gross total, purchase account, IGST, CGST. You will get to see columnar wise party detail. So from here you can easily calculate your party TDS. So what you have to do, you have to export this data into Excel format. So click on export and click on current, and now you have to select Excel spreadsheet option. If this option is not showing, click on configuration option and we need to configure. Select file format in Excel format and click on send and click on yes. It will take few of seconds for exporting this data in Excel format. And now data has been exported in Excel format. Now you can see, and in gross total value you can see your total invoice value 60 lakh something, and in purchase account this is your taxable value, and in CGST and in SGST this is your tax amount. So if you want to cross verify your data, so gross total value, it's your total invoice value 60 lakh something, and purchase account and CGST SGST all together this should be matched by your total invoice. So this is matching 60 lakh 18,000. It means our data is correct. Now purchase account, it's your taxable amount and we have to calculate. This is a 51 lakh rupees, and now we have to calculate TDS on this taxable amount. How you will get your TDS amount, I will tell you. On the screen you can see you have to take out 0.1% of 51 lakh rupees. So do here is equal to 51 lakh rupees divided 100 multiply 0.1%. Now this is your TDS amount 5100. This is your TDS amount which has to be paid to the government on the behalf of party. If you want to make TDS month-wise summary, so you can make as I'm showing you on the screen. You can make detail something like this: TDS detail for the month of. You can mention your month of which month you want to make details, and you have to mention your party name. Invoice amount it's 51 lakh rupees. TDS amount it's 5100. So I'm going to tell you how you have to record TDS entry in TelePrime. So from here press Alt A and select from the right hand side journal voucher. By pressing F2 you can change date. So I'm going to change the date, and now you have to debit the party of which party you want to book TDS. So party ledger will be debit 5100 rupees, and if you want to adjust against reference invoices you can adjust, otherwise you can skip it because there is a lot of invoices again which we have deduct TDS. And from here you have to create a new TDS ledger. So by pressing Ctrl C you can create ledger TDS payable on 194Q. If you want to create in short, you can create something like this. If you want to create in detail, so you can create like this: TDS payable on purchase on goods in bracket 194Q. Under you have to select current liabilities because TDS payable is our current liability. So party ledger will be debit 5100 rupees and TDS payable will be credit 5100 rupees. So you have to record TDS entering something like this I'm showing you. And in narration mark being TDS book for the month of which month you want to booking, you can mention month. So you can see party ledger, there is a purchase entries showing in above, and you can see just we have record TDS payable entry. So this is our TDS payable amount which we will pay to the government before TDS due date before 7. So I'm going to tell you how you have to record TDS payment entry. By pressing Ctrl A, you have to select payment voucher and you have to select date by pressing F2. And TDS payable on purchase of good will be debit 5100 rupees, and you have to credit your bank of which bank you want to make the payment. And in narration you can mention TDS payment for the month of which month you want to make the payment. You can mention your month. So by pressing Ctrl A, save this entry, and now you can see the party ledger, and I'm going to show you TDS payable ledger. So TDS payable ledger has been opened, and by pressing Ctrl F2, first we have record the TDS entry and after that we have paid to the government. Now ledger has been nil. Tally Prime, and from gateway of Tally press DAL so that we can open any party's ledger, and I will show you how you will use the range of information option. So I'm going to open any of party Suman Alarm Company. Now you can see party ledger has opened. Let me change the date. Now you can see there is a purchase entry, there would be payment entry, and there would be journal entry if you have passed out. So there is a mix of entry. So if you want only purchase entry, and if you want to analyze, and if you want to make details of and only purchase entry, so how you will get only purchase entry, you need to apply filter. So you have to press Alt plus F12. This window will show you a range of information in report. So first you have to select voucher and then voucher type, and after that name, then equal to, and if you want purchase detail only, so you can type purchase. If you want payment, so you can type payment. I want purchase details, so I have typed purchase detail and save this screen. Now you can see only purchase transaction is showing over here. In this way you can also use this range of information option by separating your any of voucher. If you wish, if you want your purchase details, so you can type purchase, and if you want payment you can type payment. You will get to see whatever you have selected, all the details are showing over here. You can also use on Tally Prime, and first we will create some basics ledger for recording this entry. So from gateway of Tally, click on create option and then ledger option. First we will create Tally company ledger by whom we are going to purchase this service. So Tally Solution Company I have created. Under group sundry creditors, maintain balances bill by bill, yes, and fill all the information related party like address, state and GST number, and after providing all the details, save this ledger by pressing Ctrl A. Next ledger we are going to create for software charges. As because we are going to purchase software charges, so we need to create software charges ledger. Under group we will select indirect expenses and GST will be applicable. Set alter GST yes, and you have to fill SSC code for software charges, and nature of transaction select purchase taxable. If you are purchasing from interstate, so you have to select in nature of transaction not applicable. 18% tax will be applicable on this service, and save this ledger. Now basics ledger has been created successfully. It's time to record the entry. So from gateway of Tally we have to press V. You can enter this software charges entry in journal voucher or in purchase voucher. So I'm going to show you in purchase voucher how you will enter this software charges and software updated charges entry in Tally Prime. So select purchase voucher from the right hand side and you have to change your purchase voucher modes. From the right hand side, click on change mode and you have to select accounting mode. In this mode, we are going to pass software updated charges invoice. By pressing F2, you have to change date and suppliers invoice number and party account number. Tally solution company. And from here we have to select software updated charges ledger, and you can see here is showing description option, so you can mention your description for ledger like how much computer has been updated and whatever detail you want to fill in ledger description you can fill. So I'm going to fill here updated software, and here you have to put your taxable value. Let's suppose it is 4,000, so on 4,000 we have to apply tax. As because we are purchasing from local state, so input CGST 9% and input SGST 9% will be applicable over here. If taxation ledger is not created, so you can create by here by pressing Ctrl C. I have already created input CGST and input SGST ledger. Now you can see 4720, it's a total bill amount. In narration you can mention, you can mark your narration, and after marking you can save this entry. Now I'll show you if you want to see this parties ledger, so how you will see this parties ledger. So let's click on go to option and then click on ledger reports option, then ledger voucher. Now here I'm going to open Tally Solution Company. Now you can see we have purchased 4720. This is a software updation charges invoice, and from here we are going to pay our outstanding. So select payment voucher and change your date, and we have to debit to the party Tally Solution Company 4720, and in against reference you can select against which reference you are going to make the payment, and select from here your bank will be credit. So this is how you can see Tally Prime Solution Company. First we have purchased software updated charges invoice, and after that we have made the payment for the same invoice. Here I have prepared some details so that I can explain you first, and then we will record this entry in Telegram. So prepared expenses. What is prepared expenses? Prepared expenses are future expenses that are paid in advance and hence recognized initially as an assets. So what is the basically types of common types of prepaid expenses? The most common type of prepaid expenses are prepaid rent expenses and prepaid insurance expenses. These are a common types of prepaid expenses. How to calculate prepaid expenses with example. So let me explain you. If you want to calculate prepaid expenses, so how you will be calculate prepaid expenses, let's see with example. So here let's suppose monthly rent is 10,000, paid rent for 15 months, so 10,000 multiply 15,000, so 1.5 it will be rent for 15 months. Rent had to pay for 12 months, financial year 23-24, so 10,000 multiplied 12 is equal to, this is a rent for 12 months, 1.2 lakh. Prepaid rent amount is 30,000. So this is the calculation of prepaid rent amount. So accounting financial year start from April and end with March. So there is a 12 month in a year in every financial year. So we should have paid rent for 12 month for financial year 23-24, but instead of 12 month we had paid 15 months. So there is a 3 month extra, 3 month advance we had paid rent. So this would be your prepaid rent expenses. So this is how you have to calculate. Month wise expenses is rent expenses is 10,000 and we had paid 15 month 1.5 lakh, and we should have paid 1.2 lakh, but we had paid 1.5 lakhs. 30,000 we have paid in advance. This would be our prepaid rent expenses. So this is how you can also calculate any of prepaid expenses. Same method you can follow and you can calculate. So next, how to enter expenses with prepaid expenses. So how you have to enter and how you have to record this entry. So let me tell you, rent expenses we had paid total 1.5 lakh will be debit and cash will be credit 1.5 lakh rupees. So this would be first entry, and second adjustment entry. So adjustment entry for prepaid expenses, you will be do something like this as I'm showing you on the screen. Prepaid rent expenses 30,000 will be debit and rent expenses will be credit with 30,000 rupees. So we have understand and I explain you theory of this prepaid expenses. So let's do practically in Tally Prime. So open Tally Prime and first of all, after opening Tally Prime, we need to create some basics ledger for recording this entry. So click on create and then click on ledger option, and first ledger we should create for rent expenses under group indirect expenses, and GST will be not applicable, again not applicable, and save this entry. Next ledger we will create prepaid rent expenses under group current assets. Why current assets? As because we have paid rent in advance, which is not our liability, but even if we have paid, so that's why we will create this ledger under group current assets. Save this ledger. So we have created basics ledger. So let's start recording this entry. So from gateway of Tally, you have to press V and select journal voucher from the right hand side, and by pressing F2 you can change date. Now here we will debit rent expenses ledger with amount 1.5 lakh, because total we had paid 1.5 lakh, so 1.5 lakh amount will be debit and cash will be credit with the same amount 1.5 lakh. So first we had paid 1.5 lakh for 15 months, so we will record entry something like this, and in narration you can mention being rate paid for financial year 23-24 and 3 month, this is the amount of prepaid rent expenses. So in narration you can mark in detail so that whenever in future we will open this entry, so it will be recalled. So first rent paid entry we had passed successfully. Now let me show you by opening balance sheet this entry how it will impact on balance sheet. So click on go to and open balance sheet, and after that we will open profit and loss account in direct expenses, and from here we have to open rent expenses ledger. Now you can see I have opened rent expenses ledger, press enter, and now you can see the entry is showing over here, just we have passed out in 2nd April 1.5 lakh. So this entry will show you in your balance sheet under profit and loss account under indirect expenses. So basically this is a expenses. Here should have record rent expenses for 12 months, but as we have recorded for 15 months, so 3 months is advance, so we have to adjust this entry by, so we need to record adjustment entry before finalizing balance sheet for financial year 22-23. So you have to select same journal voucher and set the date of 31st of March 24. Now here we will adjusting entry prepaid rent expenses will be debit with 30,000. This is the 3 month advance entry which we are showing in prepaid rent expenses, and rent expenses will be credit with 30,000 rupees. This is a adjustment entry which to be passed before finalizing our balance sheet. So in narration you can mark this is the adjustment entry prepaid rent expenses for 3 month 30,000 and save this entry. Now again let me show you balance sheet how this entry will impact on balance sheet. So click on go to and select balance sheet, and now here we will open current assets. Here you can see 30,000 amount is showing in debit side, as because we have passed adjustment entry, that is why this amount is showing over here. So this is a prepaid rent expenses amount which is showing in our balance sheet under current assets. So let's open rent expenses ledger. So click on profit and loss account and then indirect expenses. Now you can see rent expenses amount. Now here is showing 1.2 lakh, which is we had booked for 12 months. So after passing adjustment entry, the amount has been adjusted. In April, we had booked 1.50 lakh, 1.5 lakh, and after adjusting entry in March month, you can see 30,000 amount is showing in credit side. So closing balance is 1.2 lakh. It means the rent expenses has been adjusted and it is correctly showing in balance sheet. So this is how you can also record prepaid rent expenses in Tally Prime. We will open Tally Prime and from gateway of Tally press V, and from the right hand side select purchase voucher. So from here we are going to start recording purchase entry value wise discount. In suppliers invoice number you have to put your suppliers invoice number. You can change date, in which date you are going to purchase, and in party account name by pressing Ctrl C. If you want to create a new party ledger, your new supplier ledger, so you can create from here. If you have already created, so you can select from list of ledger accounts. So I'm going to select Suman Education Hub. In purchase account, select purchase account, and from here name of item, select your item you are going to purchase. So I'm going to purchase Samsung mobile quantity 1 at the rate of 25,000. This is the total taxable value of your invoice. If you receive value wise discount on your purchase and if your suppliers give you value wise discount, so how you will be record? So first we need to create discount receive ledger. So by pressing Ctrl C, we will create discount receive ledger. So how you will be create, I'm going to show you. So this is how you can create discount receive ledger. Under group you need to select indirect income. Why indirect income? As because you are going to receive value as discount, which is ultimately indirectly income for you, for your company. And in GST applicable, so GST will be not applicable. Include in assessable value GST, then select goods, and based on value you have to select all these options like this. Now we have to put our value as discount. So let's suppose you receives 2000 discount on 25,000 purchase. So we will mention minus 2000 discount receive. Always keep remember you have to mention your discount value in minus figure. Now you can see 25,000 minus 2, there is showing 23,000. Let's suppose if we mention 2000 in plus in positive, so you can see there is a total value is showing 27,000, which is a wrong. So that is why always we have to mention discount value as discount in minus figure. Doesn't matter you are receiving discount in value wise or percentage wise, always you have to mention discount in minus figure. Now we will apply tax and total invoice amount is 27,140. If you want to check your invoice your tax analysis, so from the right hand side you can go to related option and you can check. So click on related option and click on GST tax analysis option. From the right hand side you can see small arrow, click on that and click on detail. So you can see here detailed GST tax analysis reports. So total invoice purchase value is 25,000, discount is minus 2,000, so 23,000. On 23,000 the GST is applied. So this is how your total invoice value. If you want to see print preview, so click on print option and then preview. By pressing F4 you can zoom the invoice. Now you can see your invoice print preview will be show something like this. So this is how you can also book your purchase invoice if you receives value wise discount on your purchase. So you can record. Open Tally Prime and from gateway of Tally, first we will open balance sheet and we will read balance sheet what is the profit and loss amount is there. So from gateway of Tally, if you want to open balance sheet, so press B for Bombay. So this is the shortcut key for opening balance sheet. Now you can see balance sheet has been opened. Balance sheet shows in two parts. First side is liabilities and second side is assets. Now you can see in capital account there is a 4 lakh rupees amount, and you can see our current liability is 3.80 and profit and loss account 15,000. So if you want to transfer your profit and loss account amount 15,000 to capital account, so how you will be transfer this amount to capital account? We will use JV voucher, journal voucher for transferring profit and loss account to capital account. So first of all, I want to show you, if you want to see your profit and loss amount, so open balance sheet. Now you can see profit and loss amount is 15,000. When we will transfer this amount to capital account, so capital account amount will be increased. So after passing journal voucher, I will show you. So let's get started and start recording entry. So select journal voucher, and from the right hand side select journal voucher, and after this you have to debit profit and loss account with rupees 15,000 and credit your capital account ledger. If there is partners ledger, so you can credit your business partners ledger. So there is a two business partner, Suman and Shiv. So I'm going to credit Suman and Shiv partners ledger with 7500 rupees, 7500 rupees, half of the half money of the partnership. And in narration you can mention being profit and loss amount, money transfer to capital account or to partnership account. Partnership ledger account is created under group capital account. So let's open balance sheet, and I'm going to show you what is the impact of recording this entry. Now you can see balance sheet liabilities side current account amount is 4 lakh 15,000. Before it was 4 lakh, now it is 4 lakh 15,000. So profit and loss account has been nil after passing JB. So in this way you can also transfer your profit and loss account amount to capital account in Teleprime. If you wish, you can search my channel on Google or on YouTube by searching Suman Education Hub English. You will get all the videos related accounts in English language. If you wish, and if you want to learn accounting work in Hindi language, so I have one more channel in Hindi language named Suman Education Hub. You can search this channel on Google or on YouTube, and you will get my Hindi channel over there, and you will get all the videos related account in Hindi language. So I hope this video help you out. If this video will help you out, so please like, share and subscribe to my channel, which is Suman Education Hub English. Thank you and keep watching my videos.